Alright guys, I'm pretty sure we all know what we're here for after watching the thumbnail, but before we begin, and also, hello, my name's King of Underworld, as you might already know. For those who don't, hello. I'll often do these weird intros at the start, but yeah, let me just give a quick 2 cents onto this, is that I'm pre-doing this as a 400 sub special. I'm not going to I'm not obviously going to ramble on too much because I do that way a bit too long, but I just want to say thank you for the subscribers because I know I haven't directly hit it just yet, but I'm like 5 off, so, and I really do not want to put this video off longer because I really want to make it, and yeah, so at the time I'm recording, I'm not at 400 just yet, so, yeah, anyway, let's get right into the part. So, Ozawa comes in on, well, he comes in with a bit of a more expressive look at the start of the day. He says, "Alright class, we've got something exciting for you all." As everybody just wondering what it is, it's like, "Alright, settle down. I've got a word from the principal that we are doing a class field trip to the USJ. For some of you who are not familiar with the USJ, its full name is the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, where we go practice hero rescue and training. And when we get down there, we'll introduce you to a pro hero that specializes in rescue." As the class just starts going a bit more wild over the fact that they get to, well, meet a rescue hero and also, well, go outside of the school for a training course. It was very exciting. What do you think about this, Midoriya? As we'll see just asked from behind him. Well, I think my sister would be jealous, but she was never really too much into big school field trips, but I do think it would be quite exciting. After all, plants are quite useful. Well, with how you use them, Midoriya, it's definitely quite useful. Thank you, Sue. Sorry, I mean Sue. There we go, that's better. As then, well, Aizawa says, "Alright, come on, we need to get loaded onto the bus." As Ida starts ushering them in, well, into the buses, as you're saying, "Come on, everybody, form an orderly line and move into the buses." As everybody just says, "We're already moving into the buses. You're just making it more formal." As then, as when after while they were talking in the bus, they started saying a few things like, "I wonder who we're going to meet. Is it going to be this hero, that hero?" And Uraka says, "Wait, I hope it's my favorite hero." As when well when everybody gets to arrives at the USJ, all in their costumes, they meet a very short hero out front, dressed as as an astronaut, with a dark visor over front of the face. As Uraka just starts getting so excited. Oh my god, it's, it's 13. As she introduces herself, "Hello everybody, my name's 13, the rescue hero, well, the space rescue hero." As then she starts, shaking people's hands as they were very excited to meet her. And then she goes, "Alright, enough of the pleasantries. Well, you're all here to test yourself in designed and simulated, well, rescue rescue exercises." As then she explains, "Well, heroes with powerful quirks are flashy and all. However, it's rescue heroes that need to be more careful with their power. I have a very powerful quirk called Black Hole. It sucks anything into the cap of my finger, including even light. See, this is very dangerous, because of course I can suck people in, and they'll be dead. However, on the flip side of this, I can also suck in debris and save many people. So no, it's not always about how powerful or dangerous a quirk is, it's how you apply it." As she then walks everybody inside, and everybody is just marveling over how big and grand the interior is of the USJ. As well, as she was in the middle of a speech, as she was walking down the stairs, a black portal started to appear in the middle of the USJ as the doors slam shut and the lights turn off. Then out pop the villains. As Owen says, 13, protect the kids. I'm gonna go deal with this. Uh, some people calling out, Aizawa Sensei, don't. As it's like, as they said, come on out, try and call for backup. I can't, it's not going through. Then, well, Kurogiri appeared in front of the students and 13, as she said in a brave effort, I'll not let you harm the students. As then she tried to use Black Hole to suck in Kurogiri, but the effort was quite useless as her own attack was redirected at her back and causing her immense pain as she fell onto the ground. As some of the students were trying to grab her body, but Kurogiri was standing in their way. However, Bakugo started slamming him with an explosion into the metal bits of his armor. As he says, "You children are quite some pests, aren't you? Well, no matter. I shall expel you from my sight immediately." As they all get warped, well, they all get enveloped and then warped away to different areas. Midoriya finds himself on the shipwreck zone with Asui and Mineta. As Mineta started pointing out, guys, look, there's villains in the water. They're surrounding us. As well, Izuku just says, that's not the real problem. The real problem is that we're separated from everybody else. Now, at least get a few tricks up my sleeve. And then to count how many there are in the ocean. Well, in the lake, I should say. 15, 20, 25, 30 villains. There's 30 villains around us. As, well, Mineta just started shaking as Deku just started sitting there calmly. It's like, how can you be so calm at the moment? We got 30 villains surrounding us and no way out. I'm not worried about the villains. I'm more worried for the villains, actually. As Mineta says, what do you mean? It's like, just sit back and watch. Asui, can I get you to take these down? I told you to call me Sue, but now isn't the right time. As he hands her a bunch of seeds and says, take that down in the water with you. As then, well, Doria just starts going and connecting with the seeds. It's like, grow, now. As they start enveloping out into giant forests of kelp. As well, he started spreading it out and entangling the villains. Dragging them away by, well, he was able to drag them away and be able to bloom algae that was red in color. Midoriya, what are you doing? Why is there blood in the water? That's not blood, that's algae. It sucks the oxygen out of it. It also makes it slightly more sick. It's harder to control. Algae doesn't exactly listen very easily. So just be quiet. As he's focusing on creating a cloud around all the villains he's entangled. As he sees that they are knocked unconscious. He drags the algae up onto the... He manages to coax the algae up onto the ship and tangle them all together into one big pile. There we go, now they're knocked out. Okay, Mineta, follow me. As he says to Asui, well, you'll be fine, you can swim. I'll take Mineta down with me. Are you sure I can carry him? Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm more worried about you if you carry him. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You're peeping in the girls' locker room on the first day. That is what I mean. Uh, fair point. As he says, well, I may. As he jumps down into the water and says, why are you jumping in the water? As he says, look, you idiot. As he threw a bunch of seeds across, as massive lily pads started growing across the lake and onto the land. As Mineta starts saying, whoa, what's that? As Deku says, have a look at one of my very beautiful plants. Victoria Amazonica. Supermassive lily pads that are able to be used as transport. Can hold up to 100 kilos when grown as large as this. So just follow me and you'll be alright. Okay. As they manage to get back onto the land, and they see some of their other classmates, Jiro, Momo, and Kaminari. They find them together, and as Kaminari's been hit by one of the villains, and it caused a cut, as Deku says, "Alright, this is not the time." As he says, "Tree nestle blockade." As he starts wrapping around giant thorns and nettle, around where the group is, as the villains try to attack it, but as soon as they touch the blockade, their hands start going numb, and they can't use them. What the hell is going on? As then Izuku says, you mess with the wrong class, and don't you dare attack my plants. As he starts growing two massive whips. This is called the Himalayan Blackberry. Now suffer. As he starts whipping the villains across with the sharp vines from the blackberry plant, which are almost an inch in length, as the villains start getting slashed up and start crying out in pain. As then he goes, Angel's Trumpet. Disperse, as he creates a giant angel's trumpet around the villains, and it puffs the pollen out as they all start falling to the ground, screaming. Some of them attacking themselves and attacking others. There we go. As he summons back down the barrier of nettle and vines, well, rescuing the three. He says, "Let me see Kaminari." As he runs over and says, "Ah, it's just a cut." All right then. And she's like, "Well, do you have bandages or something?" "I do, but give me a second." As he starts throwing down two different seeds into the ground and growing them real quick. What's the use plant's gonna be in this? It's a cut. Just bandage it up. It's gonna be infected. As he pulls one of them out of the ground, rips off the root and starts crushing it in his hands and rubbing it together. What are you trying to do? As Momo stops Jiro and says, "No, he's helping him. That's Comfavor and Yarrow." And it's like, "What are they?" It's like, "They're medical. They help with cuts, burns, and bruises." As he puts on the kimono, this is gonna sting for a bit. Ah. As then he puts onto the cut and then starts bandaging the wound around. "There, you better? Can you walk?" "I'll live. Thanks, Midoriya." "You're welcome. Here, take this for the pain." As he hands him a weird, strange lump, as he just says, "Chew on it for a bit, you'll feel better." As Kaminari starts chewing, what is his taste? What you're tasting right there is marijuana and hemp. Wait, how'd you get this? It's legal. No. Well, I grew it, that's the thing. I can grow whatever the hell I want, remember? And no, we're not using it to smoke or dry out and sell for money. I don't violate my plants that way. I use it for medicinal purposes. To help people that are in pain. So you try walking more now. As Kaminari goes, "Wow, I can't feel it. Well, I can't feel the pain anymore. There you go. That's much better. See, it'll be fine. Jiro, Momo, Mineta, stay with Kaminari as he's injured. He can still use his quirk, and he won't feel as much pain if he keeps chewing on it. But I can only do so much. I'm not a doctor, but I can at least apply medicine. As well, the rest of them start. Well, as the group say, now that you're doing fine. As then, as then says, so come with me. Right. As they as they start rushing over to where Aizawa is, after seeing him fight some villains from the cliffs above, and after a few minutes, they manage to regroup with Aizawa as he says, "What are you doing? Step back! These villains are dangerous." As Izuku throws 3 pods around Aizawa. "It's more dangerous for you to be out here, sir." As he starts growing massive trees around Aizawa, it's like, "What are you doing?" "Protecting you." As the villains that were just surrounding Aizawa start getting tangled up in these vines. And it says, "The dotted vine is very good at restraining enemies. It likes to wrap around whatever it finds." As then, well, some of the villains happen to be female, so Ezekiel took his chance to try and incapacitate them, then tie them up. As he says, "See, I'm gonna use it now, but please cover your mouth and nose. You don't want to breathe it in, remember?" As she says, oh right." As he as he starts spreading out spores and growing them rapidly, and they start bursting out, as about half of the female villains that were at the attack started collapsing to the ground in, in a wave of pleasure that they couldn't control. They started collapsing to the ground as Izuku starts touching into the ground and says, "Grow." And then the dotted vine started wrapping the villains up. As then says Aizawa, "I got him down." So a villain snuck up on Izuku as Asui called out, "Behind you, Midoriya!" As he managed to dodge out the way, but almost getting hit with a sonic blast coming out of the villain's mouth. As he says, "I see, you require your voice, do you?" As he grows a plant from the ground, picks it up and shoves it into the villain's mouth. The villain rips it out and is like, as he tries to say, "What the?" Yeah, the dumb cane. Makes you temporarily mute for a while, so you won't be speaking much longer. As he grabs him with the giant vine he grew out the ground and slapped him across the face, knocking him out. Alright then. Who else wants some? As a lot of the remaining villains start rushing towards Midoriya, as then Shigaraki walks out. "You're a bit of a pain in the ass, aren't you, kid?" "Alright. Now we'll kill them." As Nomu rushes towards Midoriya as he begins to grow some leaves around the Nomu as it got real close to Midoriya, as he said, "Enjoy your pain." But there was something wrong. It didn't feel pain. The Gimpy was no use. Shit! Should have accounted for this. Alright then. Had to use the tree knoll then. As he starts throwing seeds, as he tries to throw them as fast as he can without getting hit. But he ends up getting punched right in the gut. But he uses his trump card. Didn't think I'd have to show this off so early. Alright then. as fibers of plants start wrapping around his body in rapid succession, growing and growing till he is the same size as the Nomu. The power of the green surrounds me. You shall serve the green as nutrients. As then he says, I am the Swampthing. You shall not harm the green. As he picks up Nomu with a bunch of vines and flogs him into the ground. If I can't I see you're not living, yet you harm the green. I'll make you a servant of us. As he grabs the Nomu by the brain, and then something weird happens. The plants start moving from Izuku's palm into the brain of the Nomu. The cordyceps sure come in handy. While not being able to infect humans temporarily, this is a mutated variant I cooked up. As Shigaraki says, what are you doing, Nomu? Kill him! As Izuku says, this Nomu does not follow your orders anymore. He follows the orders of the Avatar of the Green. I control him now. Then he goes, Nomu, restrain him. As Nomu starts to fly at Shigaraki, trying to punch him. It was the Nomu did land a fierce blow to Shigaraki's gut, knocking the wind out of him. However, he touched his hand across his body because he had no idea. Because Izuku made one mistake. He didn't know what his quirk was. As the Nomu starts withering away, and the plants inside of him die. You dare harm the green! You shall die now! As Izuku starts ripping off the plants off his face, and is like, no, don't lose control. As the plants start retracting from his body, as he starts running over and says, and pulls him out of him. Midoriya, are you okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a last ditch resort. It takes over sometimes. What does? The plants. The plants take over. I can talk to them, I can reason, but I cannot fully control them. As then Shigaraki starts getting up and says, You're one pain in my ass, alright. I had to kill a precious Nomu because of you. It's time for you to die and all your plants. See, the thing about that, Shigaraki, or whatever your name is that you cannot hurt the plants. Plants fight back. As you can look around you. There was these big giant leaves. So he's like, what are you going to do, attack me with leaves? Not quite. I'm going to burn you with them. As the giant weeds start to wrap around his body. And says, ah! It hurts! It hurts! And it's like, you should feel your skin melting. It'd be fun to watch you scream. And then he calls out, Kuragiri! Now! As he calls out a portal appears in front of Shigaraki, and the portal was long enough that it cut the weeds that were surrounding Shigaraki. He was able to escape. That fucking pest. They didn't get to kill All Might because of him. As right as he was saying that, All Might burst through the door and it's like, leave now. as the two mysterious villains vanished, as All Might is saying, I am here, and you shall surrender, heinous villains, for attacking my students. As most of the villains that were left started trying to fight back or giving up. After the whole incident was wrapped up, everybody started saying, Midoriya, you saved us. It was no problem. It's the least I could do. As as Ola says, thanks, kid. You sure helped me on in that tough spot. What the hell was that before? The giant, the Avatar of the Green, I think it was called. As it says, yeah, that's my last ditch resort. It is, I call it the Swampthing. However, it gives itself the name of the Avatar of Green. As it says, this is the will of all the this is all the plants that I have on me manifested. My powers become increased in range, and I'm able to twist whatever I want and genetically alter it. As I see fit, really. However, it comes at a cost. It can take over, as plants are living things too. However, people don't realize just how much they think. As the authorities arrive, everybody starts, well, informing them of what had happened, as the ambulance quickly patched up what they could of 13 and sent it off to hospital. As then everybody just started to awe over, well, Izuku's power. They know his quirk is powerful in the right circumstances, but with how prepared and knowledgeable he is, it's almost impossible to think of the limit to his power. So not only can you control and grow plants as you see fit, you can also increase your power by letting the plants overtake you. Essentially, yes. However, it's a bit more complicated than that. The longer I use it, the more taxing it is on my body. And I can't use it and the more the plants will take over. Since I got hit in the gut by that Nomu, I was more weaker than I should have been. So that's why, even with such a short amount of time, the Avatar started to take over. As then everybody starts going, wow. And then after the authorities wrap everything up, the students are told to go home, as they say, well, as Izawa says, I just got word from the principal. You all have the next 2 weeks off. As then, well, everybody just starts taking a sigh of relief and says, yeah, well, we need to try and clean up this mess anyway. So, our class all gets 2 weeks. At least that's what he said. You're lucky, Izuku. When I was a kid, I wanted to always have at least 2 weeks off whenever I wanted it. But I guess in your case, it was kind of deserved after what you did. As Inko states in the back, is like, I'm very proudly able to take on all those villains and stop everybody from being harmed. It was nothing really. It was just I didn't want anybody to get hurt. Nor did I want the plants to get hurt. You're a good man, son. A good man indeed. When's the bar supposed to get home? Well, I should be getting home at the normal time anyway. I got told I can go home early. Oh, okay, I see. It's around about 2 hours later. Ibarra comes through the door, and she says, "Mother, father, I'm home." Hello, Izuku. I heard about what happened today. Are you alright? Are you unharmed? Yes, yes, Ibarra, I am. Yes, that is quite good. The Lord has definitely bestowed his blessing upon you. Honey, I know you said you only sent to that camp once, but I don't think going once does this. Whatever do you mean, Father? Nothing anyway. So, how should we? Well, what are you gonna do over the next 2 weeks, Izuku? Well, I was just gonna take care of the. Well, I was just gonna take care of the um plants as usual, with all the free time I have, but I have a feeling I need. Well, there's something I want to do. Wait, there's something you want to do more than watering your plants. Yes, well, something I feel like I have to do. And they go, okay. Well, whatever you say. Just be careful out there, okay? Yeah, I'll be fine. As then he decided to call Sue. It says, "Hello, Sue. How are you?" As Sue just goes, I'm alright, Midoriya. What's with the sudden call? Well, I was wondering if you wanted to go out on Saturday, like on a date. Well, I guess you'd call it a date. I just wanted to say as a way of thanking you for helping me during that whole incident. As well, as Sue just says, then I should be the one taking you out, Midoriya. You kind of did help me, well, not get attacked. As he says, no, no. And also I wanted to apologize for what happened on during the first week. And she started blushing. It's like, okay, Saturday it is then. Great. I'll see you at 12 o'clock. Saturday comes around, and both meet each other as Sue is wearing a lovely green dress that accents very, very nicely with her dark green hair. And Midoriya is wearing a normal plain button-up with with some actually nice stylish pants as well, and with a hat as well, a trilby to be more exact, for people who are fashionable. And so they'd start walking around and go and Midoriya suggests, how about that cafe over there? It seems very lovely. As they sit down and, well, they start ordering some food, and as they're waiting, they started talking a bit. It says, so, um, well, I just want to say thank you for helping me the other day at the USJ, and again to say I'm sorry about what happened before. As Suyu starts thinking about it again and starts blushing and's like, um, please don't mention it, Midoriya. It's fine. As it says, I know, but it's just it feels better to say thank you. Well, and apologize in person. Well, that was certainly very nice of you. As well, as Suyu just starts feeling a bit strange after staring at Midoriya for a long time as he was, well, admiring a plant that was hanging up on the wall that was quite well looked after. So as he was staring at the plant, Suyu just started looking him over and just looking at his body more and having a bit more of a close fine look. And basically she started feeling tingly and weird. And she starts saying, Midoriya, something's up. Why? Are you not feeling too well? Well, I don't know. My body feels hot all of a sudden, and I don't know what's going on. It, is it a plant of yours or something? No, well the plants that I can control aren't near me right now. I'm not doing anything to these plants. And as then Midoriya cottons on. Um, I'll explain it to you after we get our food back. Alright. Well, hopefully it should go away by then. As Midoriya says, I don't think it will exactly. But, yeah, I'll tell you all about it when we get out of this place. As they're waiting for their food, Sue just starts fidgeting in her seat a bit, and then finally the waitress brings it up and says, "Here you go, one parfait and one eggs Benedict." As they eat their food and remarking how it was very nice, as Midoriya pays the bill and says, well, Sue goes, "Are you, are you paying quite a lot? Are you sure it's okay?" And it's like, "Oh, I make quite a bit of money from from farming and selling some groceries at the local farmers markets, so it really is no problem at all. Our family is actually quite profitable." As then, as then Sue says, "Okay, so where are you gonna exactly tell me what is going on?" Says, "Just let's take a seat over here." As they walk over to a nearby park bench and says, "I'm gonna be honest. I know what is happening to you right now, and I think it might have been caused by me." As Sue just starts going, "Well, what do you mean? Is that a side effect from one of your plants? From from the USJ?" "Well, no. I think I might have activated a part of your mutation quirk." "How do you mean?" "Well, frogs usually have a mating season, and that causes them to go find a mate, and that would have never come up to you normally until I used that plant, that the spores that caused you to experience an orgasm for the first time. That would have opened up let's just say, a drive you didn't know you had." As she says, "How can I fix it and stop it from happening? It doesn't really feel comfortable." "Well, there's one of two ways that it can really be um, dealt with. One is by finding a mate, and one is by trying to manage it yourself, by trying to keep the lust down. I can help in one aspect of that." As Sue just starts blushing. What do you mean help?" And it's like, "No, I didn't mean that. I meant I can help you with managing yourself, as the spore I gave you, it causes the one that causes an orgasm. It can have the same effect as, well, mating. So if you use that on yourself, it should be able to keep you from going insane, really. And you'll need to come see me a few times. See me whenever it starts acting up, and I can give you the plant. Well, I can give you the spores, and be able to effectively manage it yourself." As she goes, "Okay, but you're taking responsibilities for this, Midoriya." As as Izuku asks, "What kind of responsibility do you mean in mind? Me helping you with this? Because I've already no, you caused this. From You have to go out me from now on." As as Midoriya starts blushing, is like, I didn't imagine you to be such a bold type, Sue. Well, you're always very nice to me, and you did save me. I did kind of had an attraction towards you, but this kind of pushes it over the edge. There's no way I can just continue to look. Hell, it started up when I started looking at you. So if I can't, and it's much easier for it to work out for both of us if we started to go out." As Midoriya says, "Well, that is a clever way of thinking of it, and Well, I guess I did have an attraction to you as well, though I never admitted it. As Sue just starts blushing. Alright. Yeah, as he puts out his hand and just has a small vial in it. I must keep a vial on me just in case I see a plant and I take clippings. Then I grow them later. But he brings out one of the seeds, brings out a seed from back pocket and grows it inside. Now smell that well, Sue just starts shaking for a moment as, and then she pulls it away from her nose and then says, "It feels so weird. It, it's, well, it feels good, but it's weird to me. But my body's starting to feel better now. It's not heavy and it's not hot anymore. There we go. That should keep things from going out of control. And well, but I must warn you, this is only a temporary solution. Eventually, well, this isn't just going to solve it and you can just keep breathing that in. Eventually, over time, you'll have to find a mate according to your quirk, and unless you find a suitable seed of sorts, it won't ever stop it from happening. It's going to keep going until it is managed. I'm letting you know now, so, okay, Midoriya. And this is where I'm going to leave part 3 off. Ha ha ha. I threw in the horning. I threw in the bonking. Well, no not bonking, but I just wanted to put the horny in there for the culture. And yeah, thanks everybody for listening to my video. I'm putting this up as an early 400 sub special. And yeah, so have a good day, y'all. And King of Underworld is out.